You know, if you're a Pedro Pascal fan, woo, this is the month for you. Because not only were you having him for a little bit of an overlap of him in The Last of Us, which has been the best show on television this year, and then the anticipated return of The Mandalorian. Now, I made some comments that people didn't love, but it's the truth to me, and I'll say it again. Andor has spoiled me a little bit on Mandalorian, because everybody knows I love Mandalorian. I was loving Mandalorian season 2 when everybody was crying, oh, this is too episodic, blah, blah, blah. Luke showed up, like, you're right, but I loved it all the way through. I love Mandalorian season 2 all the way through. I love the Ice Spiders episode. I love everything, right? But after watching Andor, I was like, oh, like Mandalorian's fun, but this is great. Andor could be the best thing Star Wars has made in like 30 years. Maybe. I mean, I love Rogue One as well, like a lot. And I love The Force Awakens, but Andor is like another level. It's HBO quality is the way I kind of define it. And it took a little bit of the luster off Mandalorian for me. And the first episode of Mandalorian season 3, I thought was good, but not great. I thought the second half of the second episode was great. The first half of this episode falls into that same trap that Mandalorian seems to constantly go back in, making half of the show is member berries. Hey guys, remember that little red R2 unit, R5? It's him. Hey everybody, remember this bar? Oh look, we're back on Tatooine for the 17th time. Oh look everybody, Jawas on 7 different I mean, it just seemed a little bit too much of that, but still, I love the show. And I really liked episode 3, by the way. A lot of people say it was boring, the whole story with the scientist. And while I said on the after show that while I didn't love that story, I love that they did it. I love that Mandalorian is trying to take it up a gear and say, let's actually introduce some moral dilemmas into the story. Let's deepen and build out the world a bit by giving a little bit more context and story to some of the side characters a bit, right? They pulled a little bit of a Last of Us episode 3 with the Bill and Frank story. They did a little bit of that in this episode 3, right? And while I didn't love it, I love that they did it. Well, some numbers are coming out now that are quite frankly really shocking. And that is this, that not only was the debut episode of season 3 of Mandalorian down from the season 2 premiere by 25%. A full quarter had less viewership of Mandalorian season 3 episode 1 compared to Mandalorian season 2 episode 1. Listen, 25% does not sound like a big number. It's a big number. It's a really big number. And apparently it has not improved because according to reports that are coming out now, this newest episode of The Mandalorian, episode 3, is the lowest viewed episode of the entire franchise so far. So we often talk about that the studios are looking for trajectory. Are the franchises and the sequels doing this, or are they doing this? And right now it looks like people are losing interest in Mandalorian. Now, that is not a statement of quality. It is just a statement of numerical fact. People seem to be losing interest in Mandalorian. Some of that shimmer and shine of what Mandalorian was seems to have worn off on people. Maybe it just ain't enough Baby Yoda, because I'll tell you, every second that Baby Yoda's on screen, I am delighted. I don't care what anybody says. When he hugs that Babu freak looking son of a bitch, I love that scene. It's great. I mean, probably very much a sexual assault that was going on, but whatever, it was adorable. But people seem to be losing interest. And I don't know if it's a matter of they have not found a way to grow the show narratively, because the tone is still very much the same tone as it was in season 1, episode 1, right? I don't know if it's, God, I just don't know what it is, because I still like the series. I'm still watching it. But it's not a good sign, Rob, because and maybe it is a repercussion of the fact that they have put out some real sub-quality stuff. The Obi-Wan series, all due respect to everybody who liked it, I know a lot of people liked it, and that's awesome. I'm not trying to rain on your parade. I was disappointed with Obi-Wan. Like, I liked the first episode very much. I liked the last episode very much, but overall, I was disappointed with that series. The Book of Boba Fett was just a mess. That show was just an unmitigated mess. So maybe that had something to do with it, but it doesn't stand well because they are still planning on living in this little bubble for a while, because not only do we have Mandalorian season 3, John Favreau just said they've already got season 4 written. We got Ahsoka coming out, which is still run by all the same people and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I just don't know what to make of these numbers, Rob. You see them say the debut episode dropped 25%, and now the newest episode is the lowest viewed one that they've had so far. What do you attribute this to? Is it something for them to worry about, and how do they turn it around?
I think these shows have a storytelling problem in that we don't really know what the story is. With Andor, they built these things up. Like, I have to say, I thought we had a very cool battle, space battle or aerial battle at the beginning of this episode. And then Bo-Katan's castle gets blown up. I'm like, oh my God. And then we literally cut to Coruscant, and we're now telling a brand new story with a secondary character we know is involved in cloning. And we watch for 40 minutes this story, and I'm like, why am I watching this? They haven't built up to this. They just finished, the Empire is chasing Bo-Katan and the Mandalorian, and Baby Yoda blew up her castle. And then let's cut away to this story. The show's called The Mandalorian, and I understand building up Thrawn, whatever they're doing, fine. But the storytelling itself, I hate to say this because I know what Ray's going to do. The script writing is not good. This is not how to write a story like this. I mean, that's why, you watch a Game of Thrones and there's 3 different stories being intercut, and if this is the story they wanted to tell, intercut this story. Start following him for 2 episodes. I mean, they've been showing the Mandalorian fly here, fly there. Why not intercut this story over the last 2 episodes and interweave it all the way deft storytelling is working in larger fantasy and science fiction properties?
They did the same thing in Boba Fett and with the Mandalorian. Right?
Yeah, they did that
because suddenly he was jammed in, right? And it's like we accepted it because we liked the Mandalorian, and it was a reprieve from Boba Fett.
Yes,
but they didn't get away with it here.
No, and like, it's not that it was bad. It was interesting going to Coruscant, but look at Andor, how they're juggling these multiple storylines. You've got Mon Mothma over here, you've got Cassian Andor over here, and you've got the Imperial officer over here, and it's all interwoven.
And you got Skarsgård.
And Skarsgård, you've got, and it all is, it's
right.
all servicing a much wider storyline holistically.
And then they allowed it to crescendo.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is like, what am I watching? Suddenly I'm watching The Mandalorian. I'm like, I was really into it. What are they? Oh my God, our castle got blown up. And then they come back to that story at the end of the episode after you've watched. I mean, I was perplexed from a storytelling standpoint. Like, how am I supposed to feel watching this? You took me in this really exciting set piece, and then where am I? Oh, wait, there's this doctor? Oh, yeah, I remember that guy. And he has something to do with cloning maybe Baby Yoda, maybe cloning Palpatine. What's going on?
Now, we all agree, though, right, that they are clear that that whole doctor thing is setting something up that's going to be important later on.
It is, but right? If they're going to do that, you should have been building, playing with the different. That's an interesting story. But when suddenly I'm watching one thing and then I'm where am I?
It's jam cut instead of just like interwoven.
Yeah.
Let me ask a question that nobody wants to ask out loud. All right. Because episode 1 being 25% drop could have been a fluke. But now we're 3 episodes in, and the newest episode is the lowest viewed one they've had so far. So let me ask the question that everybody knows they have in the back of their head, but nobody wants to ask out loud. Is the magic of Mandalorian gone?
No.
I'm still enjoying watching the show. I watch it at midnight the moment it comes out.
I don't even know if it's a script issue.
But the numbers dropping. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't even know if it's a script issue. That could have been an editorial decision to just jam it all at the end, or into that section.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been. Look, I think here's the problem. The problem is we're 3 episodes in, and what is the story that's being told? There's, you have to understand what the narrative thrust is in any story, and we're now 2 hours or 2.5 hours into this. I don't know where this is going. I have no idea. I mean, and if you look at our other big projects, whether it's House of the Dragon or anything, you know what the story is, and a story is supposed to bring you along. I don't know where I'm going. Now that the Mandalorian is back and he's part of the fold again, and they've allowed Bo-Katan to hang out, is that story now done? Now they have to start a whole new. What are they going to do now? What is the Mandalorian going to do? I have no idea. And we're going to go into episode 4 of an 8-episode series, and we're going to now start.
Yeah, Taylor, look that up. How many episodes?
We're going to start a new
9?
story. The Mandalorian has been redeemed. He is part of the fold, and it's like, okay, well, now we're going to start. Well, here's the next story.
I'm glad you brought that up, because one of my frustrations, again, I have been enjoying this season. I like this show, but it has been narratively, it's been all over the place. Because I'm glad you brought that up, because follow me here. They seem to say, like, what's the new hero's quest? The quest for Mando so far in the series has been to get this little creature to a Jedi. Okay, that's done. If you didn't watch Book of Boba Fett, which good for you if you didn't, then all of a sudden you start episode 1 and wait a minute, Baby Yoda's back with Mando again? That seems something pretty important that maybe they should have covered in this series. But be that as may. So we've got what looked like the new hero's quest, redemption. He's going to go get redeemed. Okay, that seemed like that's going to be now the story of the season. So, well, that gets wrapped up in 3 episodes. Now he's redeemed. Okay, so now what's it about? I'm not sure. But here's the other thing. You go back to episode 1, right? It seemed like nothing is more important in the entire galaxy than I got to get IG-11 back. I cannot go to Mandalore without IG-11. I do not trust any droids other than IG-11. IG-11 is my friend. I need to resurrect him. Really? He's your friend? Then how come you left him dead for 3 years and now you only want to resurrect him when you need him? But anyway, that's a side thing.
It's complicated.
So I can't do anything without IG-11. As a matter of fact, I will travel the galaxy going planet to planet to planet, trying to find A, get him back, B, find the parts that we need to fix him. And the moment he lands on Tatooine, hey, how about you take this R5 droid? Okay. And that's it. All of a sudden, that whole thing about how I need IG-11, gone out the window, completely turned out. He was able to go to the planet with any droid he came across. Now, obviously, IG-11 is going to come back, and obviously they're going to have a probably significant thing for IG-11 to do. It's just that they set it up in the first episode too, like, I cannot go to Mandalore without this droid. No? All right, I'll take that one then. And then it was gone. So I don't know where they're going with this right now.
And now they've introduced this secondary character that we'd met before, and they're setting his problem up. He has nothing to do with the Mandalorian.
Well, I think we will find out it is important.
It's all going to come together, but but now they've added this. Now it's like, okay, for the episode 4, whose story are you interested in? I mean, there's now a new character, the Mythosaur. What's he going to do? He's just chilling out. Now he's
going to go point them to unobtainium.
I mean, Bo-Katan knows that the Mythosaur that she didn't even know was real. It was just a myth. You know, it's not. It's there. Well, what's the Mythosaur going to do? Just chill out in the waters of Mandalore until somebody decides to show up and rebuild the planet? I mean, it's such a weird. The fact that we don't know is weird.
You know what series did this like infamously too? Was later on was Heroes and Lost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're just
it really did, especially with Heroes.
I mean, what I want to know is I want to know that when I'm watching a show, and the reason we get so absorbed in it is because we know that we're being taken on a journey. This show lurches around, and I have no idea where it's going, what it's trying to accomplish, or what it's trying to say. What is it trying to say? And we're going to be 4 episodes in next week.
I think episode 4 it has to. Episode 4 needs to set the groundwork for what the rest of the season is.
I mean, are they going to meet the pirates again?
Are they going to come back at some point?
And it's but all of this is just stuff happening.
All right, guys, question is for you. The numbers for Mandalorian not only are down, they continue to go down. It went from a 25% drop in episode 1 now to the lowest rated of the entire series so far. Has the magic of it just worn off? Are people just over the Mandalorian? Is there another reason? Maybe it's the fact that Obi-Wan and Book of Boba Fett didn't satisfy people. Maybe it's something else, or maybe, listen, it's just a blip on the radar. The numbers will go back up soon. What do you attribute it to? Whatever you guys think, jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Manscaped. Breaking news, Manscaped now sells beard products. That's right, they are once again revolutionizing men's grooming with the brand new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Now you can finally use Manscaped products to make your drapes match your carpet by going to manscaped.com and using the code Campea for 20% off and free shipping. It all starts with the Beard Hedger. This thing is a juggernaut of fixing faces. First off, this cordless trimmer has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard. So no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. You also get the beard shampoo and conditioner. Because guys, you gotta remember that all of your hair is different. Your beard hair is more coarse and easier to damage than the hair on your head. Next, the kit has Manscaped's beard oil. The oil relieves dryness both on the beard and the skin beneath. You then cap it off with the Beard Balm that shapes, styles, moisturizes, and tames for a sculpted look. The Pro Beard Kit also comes with 3 special gifts: a beard brush, comb, and scissors to ensure your beard is ready to impress. With a nice beard, your face is perfectly groomed, right? Wrong. You need to keep an eye out for those tough-to-trim ear and nose hairs. The brand new Weed Whacker 2.0 offers improved blades and skin-safe technology with a no-tugging guarantee. It's never been so painless to mind your manholes. And now that you have your face looking great, you must try Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0 for the full-body grooming experience. And good news, the Performance Package 4.0 now comes with the Weed Whacker 2.0 and all of the other below-the-waist grooming products that Manscaped is known for. Your significant other will be delighted to see you covering all bases, if you know what I mean. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code Campea at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code Campea. Manscaped Beard Hedger, 1 stroke, 1 guard, 20 lengths.